Crypto Daybook Americas. The Overture to 2025 strikes a familiar ChordYour day-ahead look for January 6, 2025 by Omkar Godbole. Shaurya Malwa edited by Sheldon. RebackUpdated January 3, 2025, 4:52 p.m. UTCPublished January 6, 2025, 12 p.m. UTC. By Omkar Godbole, all times ET unless indicated otherwise. The Overture to 2025 has a familiar tune. It's not just the numbers. Bitcoin's 8% recovery from late December, but the news flow is equally recognizable. Powered by 00:12/01:16103.3K1 Ripple unlocks 500M XRP with mysterious pro-crypto memo. STLP0 fill. Hashtag FF3E5F. .st1 fill. Hashtag FEF.st2 fill. Hashtag FF3E5F. Shared ALSX. 1. Isolation. Isolate. .lsx. 2. Fill. Hashtag FF3E5F. .lsx. 3. Fill. Hashtag FFF. Next day, perhaps the most important note comes from JP Morgan, which says the market forces that drove Bitcoin and gold to records last year are still around. The debasement trade is here to stay, with both gold and Bitcoin becoming increasingly important components of investors' portfolios. The investment bank wrote, "The debasement trade is a strategy where investors buy assets that protect against declines in fiat currencies and government bonds due to inflation and policy shifts." Last year's debasement play drove Bitcoin above $100,000, a figure it's approaching again, and gold over $2,600. The rallies were fueled by increased geopolitical uncertainty, persistent inflation concerns, debt debasement in advanced economies, fears of fiat currency devaluation in emerging markets, and a shift away from the US dollar. Coupled with President-elect Donald Trump's pro-crypto stance, this led to a record $78 billion in net inflows into the digital assets market, according to JP Morgan. Any discordant tone comes from elevated bond yields and a strong dollar driven by economic optimism and declining Fed rate cut bets, which could limit upside potential in the short term. This Friday's non-farm payrolls report will provide a critical test for the hawkish Fed narrative, with expectations for 154,000 job additions in December. The shenanigans surrounding BTC holder MicroStrategy, MSTR, deserve attention, particularly the social media buzz about brokers reducing their exposure to the company. This reduction comes alongside significant increases in margin requirements, raising concerns about potential volatility. Meanwhile, crypto economist Ben Lilly suggests that Ether's price has been suppressed by the growing number of coins locked up in the DeFi protocol Athena, which shorts ETH futures as part of a delta-neutral hedge strategy to maintain the $1 peg of its stablecoin, USD. ETH has jumped 10% in the first 6 days of the year, but remains well below its record high. This suggests a shift in the market toward delta-neutral exposure on ETH instead of seeking upside by holding it as collateral. Thus, the ETH price is likely to be muted on the upside because of Athena. Lilly said on X. Athena has announced plans to launch iUSD, a version designed for institutional investors seeking exposure to yield-bearing USD without direct token interaction. Meanwhile, the leading on-chain perp DX exchange, Hyperliquid, has listed SOLV, the native token of the Bitcoin staking protocol Solve protocol, and whispers are circulating about whales looking to buy up the Hype token. Stay alert. What to watch Crypto Jan. 6. Decentralized exchange Uniswap's Layer 2 blockchain, Unichain, starts its transition to mainnet. January 6. Binance is delisting DAR, rebranding. January 6. Sonic primary listing. January 7. Dusk, mainnet launch. January 8. Bybit terminates withdrawal and custody services to nationals or residents of the French territories. January 8. Stereo, XTER, token generation event. January 9, 1 a.m. Chronos, CRO, ZKEVM, mainnet upgrades to ZKSYNC's latest release. January 12, 10:30 p.m. Binance will halt Phantom Token, FTM, deposits and withdrawals and delist all FTM trading pairs. FTM tokens will be swapped for S tokens at a 1-to-1 ratio. January 15. Derive, DRV, token generation event. January 15. Mint Layer version 1.0.0 release. The mainnet is undergoing an upgrade that introduces atomic swaps, enabling native BTC cross-chain swaps. January 16, 3 a.m. Trading for the Sonic token S is set to start on Binance, featuring pairs like S/USDT, S/BTC, and S/BNB. Macrojan. 6, 9:15 a.m. Fed Governor Lisa D. Cook gives a speech, Economic Outlook and Financial Stability, at the 7th Conference on Law and Macroeconomics, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Livestream link. January 6, 9:45 a.m. S&P Global releases U.S. December 2024 PMI final. Composite PMI estate 56.6 versus previous 54.9. Services PMI estate 58.5 versus previous 56.1. At January 7, 5 a.m. Eurostat releases November 2024's Eurozone unemployment statistics and December 2024's Eurozone inflation data. Flash. Core inflation rate YOY estate 2.7% versus previous 2.7%. Inflation rate YOY estate 2.4% versus previous 2.2%. Unemployment rate estate 6.4% versus previous 6.3%. January 7, 8:55 a.m. U.S. Redbook YOY for the week ended January 4. Previous 7.1%. January 7, 10 a.m. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, releases November 2024's Job Openings and Labor Turnover Summary, JOLTS, report. Job openings EST 7.65 m versus previous 7.744 m. Job quits previous 3.326 m. January 8, 8:30 a.m. Fed Governor Christopher J. Waller is giving a speech, Economic Outlook, at the Lectures of the Governor event, Paris, France. Livestream link. January 8, 2 p.m. The Fed releases the minutes of the December 17, 18 Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, meeting. January 9, 8:30 a.m. The U.S. Department of Labor releases the Unemployment Insurance Weekly Claims Report for the week ended January 4. Initial jobless claims estate 210K versus previous 211K. January 10, 8:30 a.m. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, releases December 2024's Employment Situation Summary Report. Non-farm payrolls EST 160K versus previous 227K. Unemployment rate EST 4.2% versus previous 4.2%. January 10, 10 a.m. The University of Michigan releases January's Michigan Consumer Sentiment, preliminary, EST 74.5 versus previous 74.0. Token events governance votes and calls Cartesi to hold first governance call of 2025 at 8 a.m. The injective community passed a proposal in favor of decreasing the INJ supply as part of the INJ 3.0 upgrade. Conferences, January 6 to 19, Starknet, the Ethereum Layer 2 is holding its Winter Hackathon online. January 13 to 24, Swiss Web 3 Fest Winter Edition 2025, Zug, Zurich, St. Moritz, Davos, January 17, Unchained. Blockchain Business Forum 2025, Los Angeles, January 18. Bitcoin Day Naples, Florida, January 20 to 24. World Economic Forum Annual Meeting, Davos Clusters, Switzerland, January 21. Frankfurt Tokenization Conference 2025 Jan. 25 to 26. Katstanbul 2025, Istanbul. The first community conference for Jupiter, a decentralized exchange, DEX, aggregator built on Solana. Jan 30 to 31. Plan B Forum, San Salvador, El Salvador, February 3. Digital Assets Forum, London, February 18 to 20. Consensus Hong Kong Token Talk by Shaurya. Malwa Parity Token SPX 6900, SPX, jumped another 17% in the past 24 hours to reach a $1.5 billion market capitalization, keeping a rally from last week going even as the broader market remains fairly steady. The token started as a satire on the S&P 500 equity index and has since captured a dedicated community that hopes to one day flip the capitalization of the entire U.S. stock market, which was valued at just over $44 trillion as of Monday. A manifesto on the SPX 6900 site speaks to a generation facing economic challenges, positioning the token as a reset for the stock market. The community's rallying cry, "Stop trading and start believing in something," has fostered a strong, belief-driven following. This slogan encourages long-term holding over short-term trading, fostering a community of diamond-handed believers. This culture prioritizes faith in the project's potential over immediate financial gains. Derivatives positioning most large-cap tokens have seen price gains in the past 24 hours. The increases are accompanied by muted cumulative volume delta and limited growth in futures open interest, indicating a lack of strong buying pressure and raising concerns about the sustainability of these gains. The BTC options market shows renewed buying in calls at strikes $100,000 and $120,000, anticipating a rally to new lifetime highs. Dealers are net short gamma at the $100,000 strike, which means a breakout above that level could see them trade in the direction of the market to maintain their net exposure neutral. That could add to the upward momentum. Similar negative gamma is seen in ETH between $3,650 and $3,850 strikes. Traders have sold upside optionality in SOL. Market movements. BTC is up 0.78% from 4 p.m. Eastern Time Friday to $99,034.53. 24 hours. Plus 1.41%. ETH is up 0.97% at $3,647.09. 24 hours. Plus 3.22%. CoinDesk 20 is down 0.29% to $3,659.91. 24 hours. Plus 1.19%. Ether staking yield is down 11 BPS to 3.05%. BTC funding rate is at 0.01%. 10.95% annualized. On Binance DXY is down 0.57% at 108.33. Gold is unchanged at $2,641.26 per oz. Silver is up 1.33% to $30.01 per oz. Nikkei 225 closed minus 1.47% at 39,307.05. Hang Seng closed minus 0.36% at 19,688.29. FTSE is up 0.12% at 8,233.81. Eurostoxx 50 is up 0.89% at 4,914.95. DJIA closed on Friday plus 0.8% to 42,732.13. S&P 500 closed plus 1.26% at 5,942.47. Nasdaq closed plus 1.77% at 19,621.68. S&P/TSX Composite Index closed plus 0.7% at 25,073.54. S&P 40 Latin America closed minus 1.44% at 2,153.90. UTCPublished 10-year Treasury is up 1 BP at 4.61%. E-mini S&P 500 futures are up 0.51% to 6,020.00. E-mini Nasdaq 100 futures are up 0.85% to 21,699.25. E-mini Dow Jones Industrial Average Index futures are up 0.14% at 43,081. Bitcoin stats. BTC dominance. 57.25% Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. 0.0367 hash rate. 7-day moving average 814 EH/S hash price. Spot $56.5 total fees. 5.9 BTC/$579 KCME futures open interest. 170,345 BTC priced in gold. 37.6 Oz BTC versus gold market cap. 10.70% basket performance technical analysis. BTC's daily price chart. TradingView/CoinDesk. Watch out for a potential head and shoulders topping pattern in Bitcoin. A breakdown below the horizontal support line would confirm the pattern, opening doors for a deeper price slide. Recent price action has shown sellers are looking to reassert themselves. Crypto equities MicroStrategy. MSTR closed on Friday at $339.66, plus 13.22%, up 2.74% at $348.94 in pre-market. Coinbase Global. Coin closed at $270.65, plus 5.23%, up 2.73% at $278.05 in pre-market. Galaxy Digital Holdings. GLXY closed at 29 Canadian dollars and 44 cents, plus 13.36%. Mara Holdings. Mara closed at $19.64, plus 14.12%, up 2.24% at $20.08 in pre-market. Riot Platforms. Riot closed at $12.34, plus 17.97%, up 2.51% at $12.65 in pre-market. Core Scientific. SORZ closed at $15.38, plus 6.22%, up 1.69% at $15.64 in pre-market. CleanSpark. CLSK closed at $10.80, plus 14.29%, up 2.87% at $11.11 in pre-market. CoinShares Valkyrie Bitcoin Miners ETF. WGMI closed at $25.73, plus 10.91%. Semler Scientific, SMLR, closed at $59.04, plus 8.13%. ETF Flow Spot BTC ETFs. Daily net flow. $908.10 million cumulative net flows. $35.91 billion total BTC holdings 1.124 million. Spot ETH ETFs daily net flow. $58.90 million cumulative net flows. $2.64 billion total ETH holdings 3.611 million. Source. Farside Investors Overnight Flows Chart of the day. The spread between yields on the U.S. 10-year note and the 3-month bill. TradingView/CoinDesk. Read more. The spread between yields on the U.S. 10-year note and the 3-month bill has turned positive in a so-called normalization or de-inversion of the yield curve. Previous de-inversions have often signaled sharp economic downturns. This time may be different because the movement is led by a faster rise in the 10-year yield, representing economic optimism. While you were sleeping, high-stakes $100,000 Bitcoin call signals expectation for record price jump after Trump's inauguration. CoinDesk Bitcoin traders are anticipating record highs following President-elect Donald Trump's January 20th inauguration, with notional open interest for $120,000 strike call options on Deribit exceeding $1.52 billion, signaling strong bullish sentiment. MicroStrategy. Metaplanet want billions more in Bitcoin as BTC nears $100,000. CoinDesk MicroStrategy plans to raise $2 billion via preferred stock for Bitcoin purchases in the first quarter. Metaplanet said it aims to acquire 10,000 BTC by the end of the year. Dogecoin jumps 21% as whales accumulate. Galaxy predicts $1 Doge. Cointelegraph. Dogecoin jumped 21% last week to 38 cents, fueled by whale activity, rising open interest and historical January strength, with forecasts predicting Doge could hit $1 and reach a $100 billion market cap in 2025. Canada PM Trudeau is likely to announce resignation. Source says. Reuters. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau could announce his resignation this week after 9 years in office as his Liberal Party faces declining poll numbers ahead of a federal election required by late October. Gold investors stay bullish for 2025 on Trump volatility fears. Bloomberg. Gold's 27% rally in 2024, driven by central bank purchases, Federal Reserve easing and geopolitical tensions, has investors optimistic for 2025 as they look to hedge against economic uncertainty under Trump's policies. China services activity gauge signals pickup in growth. The Wall Street Journal recent PMI data shows China's economy strengthened in December, with services and construction growth offsetting manufacturing weakness. South Korea seeks to extend arrest warrant for impeached president. Financial Times. South Korea's anti-corruption agency asked police on January 6 to enforce a December 31st arrest warrant for impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol, accused of treason, after his security service blocked an arrest attempt on January 3. In the ether.